everybody. Happy Sunday evening. We're going to do a little software tonight with the new design database transfer. And for those of you who have PE design, second here, I'm going to open this up so I can see your comments. Just give me a second here on my other tablet so I can see your comments. Hi, everybody. So make sure you say something when you come in so that I know you're hearing me okay. So hopefully the sound's okay tonight. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Dad and I went out for a ride today, had ice cream, and went through the park and had lunch. It's been a nice day. Just a second, I'm going to turn off my little banner. And then let me go to the comments here. Okay. So I want to make this a little bit more clear to everybody. I think people are a little confused about the design database transfer. So design database transfer is a free design or is a free program that Brother and Baby Lock have that work with the machines that are wireless. Okay. So that means I'm just going to read the machine. So if you have a Brother or a Baby Lock, I'll try to do them both at the same time. The Brother Stellaire series, either the embroidery only or the embroidery sewing combo. The Baby Lock version of that is the Altair and the Meridian. Okay, so those are the wireless ones. It also works with the new 6 needle that Brother has, which is the 680, the PR 680, and the Baby Locks is called the Array. And then there's a couple of small machines that it works with. Brother has the 3700D and the 1700E, which are the embroidery combo and the embroidery only. And then the Baby Locks are called the Flare and I always forget the other one, Vesta. Okay, so those are the new littler machine, which is like the 6x10 machine. Okay, and then of course it works with the Solaris for the Baby Lock and the Luminaire for the Brother. And it works with the 10 needle as well. So the 10 needle Venture and the Brother 10 needle 1055X. Okay, so the PR 1055X. So it's the newer machines that have the wireless feature. Okay, so no, the Dream machines do not work. The Baby Lock Destinies do not work because they're not wireless. Okay. But this program does other stuff besides sending your designs to the machine wirelessly. So if you would like to have some way to like look at your designs, to see what they, to look at the designs, to catalog them, to organize your designs, and you have nothing else, this is free and it will do that. Okay. The other thing that it does for those of you, but for those of you with PE design, okay, and its version like 7 on up, had design database in it. So I've taught this design database class quite a few times. This program does almost everything that the full PE design database will do, except it does not convert designs from different formats. And it will not, this free one will not let you write to a USB. You can do that in PE design. So this is my take on the new design database transfer. I really like it. Instead of PE design database, which I have also, and it has more functions, I understand that. But I have to go hunt up the little dongle, the little security device that goes in the computer in order to run PE design database. And that's why we've had this wireless feature ever since the Luminaire came out. But I don't use it because I have to go look up the dongle every time I want to do something. And I don't use that program every day like I use the Dyn PEP software. Okay. So if if you also have PE Design and you have one of these wireless machines, download this and use this, because then you don't have to go look up the dongle. Unless you have it hooked up all the time, you can use PE Design. PE Design Database, which is the full version, will allow me to write a USB stick, which those of you with like the Dream Machines and all the other machines, you can write USB sticks with that program, but you cannot with this free one. This one's just wireless. Okay. So hopefully that clears up a little bit the differences. So the notes that I'm going by tonight, I did notes and they're up on this group in the Dropbox. So if you go to Sessions on Software, there is a file called PE Design Database, I think is how I put it in there. And it's just a file, and it has all the stuff I'm going to go through tonight, with the exception of the connectivity part, which is in this little, those links I gave you to either the Brother or the Baby Lock. This little manual is there where it will show you how to connect everything. And I'm going to show you that tonight too. Okay. If you have Baby Locks, you have to use the Baby Lock version. If you have Brothers, you have to use the Brother version. If you have both in your house, you'll need both. Okay. That's the trick with this. They made it so that you can't, they don't talk to each other. And so I have both versions of this on my computer at work, because I have both machines in the store, and at home I just have Brothers. So tonight I'm going to be using the Brother version, but they look almost identical. There's a slight difference in the color is all there is. So I am using the Brother version tonight. Okay. So what I'm going to show you first is how to connect your software to your machine. Okay. So you need to have your software installed. And I think most of you, I'm not going to do that tonight, because I think most of you can handle that. I gave you the links where you go to download it, and just download it and install it like you do any other software. I think you can all do that. Okay. But I want to show you how to get them to talk to each other. You have to have your computer on the same network as your machine, and they both need to be on the network first. Okay. So make sure that they're on on your internet at home, on your router. I'm at Dad's, so I'm in high tech. I have internet now. So I have these both set up, but I'm going to show you how to connect then your machine. Okay. So give me a second here, and I'm going to share my screen so that you can see my, my computer. So just get a second here. I got to hit the right buttons here. Share my screen. All right. And then entire screen. All right, so let me go down here and let's see let me make sure I know what you're seeing. So you are seeing, yeah, okay, good. That's what I want you to see. All right, so we're good. Nope, you don't need to see me. I'm going to get rid of me. Just a second. I just want you to see my screen. There we go. Then it's bigger. Okay, how's that? All right. Okay, so now you should just be, in here in a second, you should just be seeing my screen. Dad is watching TV. He's watching baseball tonight. Jackie, he's in the other room. So, okay. All right. So this is the main screen that will open up. You know, like when you open this up, this is what opens up in Design Database Transfer. So this is going to look very, very similar to anything that if you have PE Design Database, this is what it's going to look like. Okay. Very, very much the same, but there's a couple of the buttons have slightly changed. Okay. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to connect this up with your machine. So there's a couple ways to access that part of the software. There's a little option here that says option and then network machine settings. So you can go into it through the option menu and network machine settings, or you can click the little icon on the toolbar up here. That is the same thing. Okay. So I'm just going to click that little toolbar. Okay. And this little network machine settings little page is going to open up. It's like a little box. And the first thing you need to do is just set up we need to set up our machine. So I've got my Luminaire here, and that's what I'm going to set up. So I'm just going to click the add button down here. And another little box is going to show up, and it's just going to search for what machines that it knows are on my network. So if you can see here, it's searching, and it found my Luminaire right away. I think it might be done. Yep, it's not quite done yet. So it says searching, and it'll search for a little bit. And then we're going to I'm going to click on Luminaire. Okay. So that's the only one it found was my Luminaire, and that's the only one I have with me here. When I'm at home, it will also have my 10 needle up here because my 10 needle is also wireless. The other thing you have to do is make sure that your machine is awake, like you've touched the screen and it's like you're ready to sew. Because if you have it kind of in that little mode at the beginning where it's just kind of swirling, and not really awake, then it may not find it. Okay, so make sure that you've got your machine ready to go. Okay. All right, so it is done now, and I'm going to click on Luminaire. Shouldn't it find your scan and cut? No, Jan, it will not, because it does not know the scan and cut. You cannot send designs to the scan and cut wirelessly. So that does not work. All right, so I'm going to go click on the word Luminaire. That's my machine that I want to click on with this. And then I'm going to click the word add. Okay, so at the bottom. So this little box has the word add on it. So I'm going to click add. And now it says that my Luminaire is ready to go. I've got it in my list up here, my main list. And I'm going to click OK. If I want to try again, and if I think, oh, something's missing, I could click add again, and then it would search again. So it makes it really easy to do this. So I'm ready to go. My Luminaire's here. I'm just going to click OK. All right. Whoops, second here. There we go. Okay, so I clicked OK. And now down here on my main screen, it says send to, and there's a little thing at the bottom here. That's the writing screen. And it says here, send to my Luminaire. Okay. If you had more than one machine there, it would then show you the list of machines you had available. So when I'm at home, I have two machines there. I have my Luminaire and I have my PR1055X. Okay. All right. So now we're ready to do, let's talk about then, we'll talk about writing here in a minute. Let's talk about some of the things that this software will do. So I'm going to go back then to my older PE design database lesson and just talk about what this program will do. For the most part, this free version will do everything that that design database does, with the exception of it will not convert. So you cannot convert like from PES to DST or anything like that. It does not do that. Okay. It will read all of the formats. So like it reads PHX, which are the machine files. It'll read the PHC, which are the machine files from the older machines. It'll read all PES, DST, EXP, HUS, PCS, all the other versions. It'll read and show pictures of them, but it will not convert. Okay, so that's one of the things it does. It will read all of these, and if I had all these different versions of software or designs up here, it would show all of them in these boxes. Okay. It will display and preview the design. So that's what you're seeing up here kind of on the right-hand side in this little screen. Okay. You can print a design database catalog. So if you need some pictures of your designs, this is a really good place to print them out. You can display the properties of a design. So like if I right click and then say property on this design here that's showing up, if I just right click and say property, it'll then tell me, like what's the file name, what version it is, when it was made, how big it is, how many stitches, all that. So that's kind of cool. Then you have an idea when you're getting ready with threads and stuff. You can search for designs with this program. So like if you know that you have a design on here called Angel, you can search for that. So we're going to do that too. You can create HTML documents. In other words, if you have a website like I do, I can actually make the document to go up on my website from my design files directly in this program, which is kind of neat. And it has and it also makes CSV files and JPEG, in other words, picture files. Okay. So I really like that function in it because that's something that I use. Not everybody would use that, but I find it very useful. Okay. And it also then, of course, then in this one, which is Design Database Transfer, this is the free one. This one, you can write multiple designs at the same time wirelessly to the wireless machine. So in other words, like my Brother Luminaire, my 1055, my 3700D, 1700 PR 680, and then the Stellaires. Okay, the two Stellaires. So more and more of the machines are becoming wireless now, and I really think that's neat that they have this little program and they made it free. And I was really surprised they made it free because they don't usually make anything free. So I just thought that was cool. Okay. All right. So that's some of the stuff it'll do. So let's just look at a few of these things. And as you can see, when I'm looking here, there's a couple little things that are cool. See this little arrow way over here on the right? There's like these two little arrows. And if I click that, then it will make the designs just be my primary thing. And if I want to see the writing part at the bottom, then I have to click the arrows going the other direction. So there's two different ways to view your screen. And if you're just using it for the designs, use this big way like this, because then you can see more designs at a time. Okay. So I'll leave it on that for right now. And then we'll go back to the writing thing when we get there. Okay. So we've got the design database. We got Design Database Transfer open. If you need to change your system units, as I remember, they come up when you download it, they're going to be in millimeters, and I don't use millimeters. So under options, select system unit. You can be in millimeters or inches. Okay, so I want to be in inches. And second here, I'm going to turn my page. And again, what I'm going through right now is on the group, and you can download this. There are some changes, okay? Now, this little program comes with some designs, some free designs. So these ones that you're seeing on my screen right now are the free ones that this little program comes with. If for some reason you go away from this and you cannot find these again, I'm going to show you the path to get back to this. So what it is, on the left-hand side here, you see all these little folders with all the little X's and everything. Okay. This is the navigation bar. So it's like an old Windows Explorer navigation area. Okay. So that is where you want to go to get to your designs, no matter where they are. All right. So this particular folder that I'm in is a library folder inside of the Design Database Transfer folder. So how I get there is I'm in the folder called This PC, and you can see it's right here. I've got that open. So if I close that, I'm going to open up This PC, and then I want to go to my C drive, which is, like the hard drive on your computer. So then I went to Windows C, okay, and opened that up. And then I went to Program Files times 86. So it's Program Files times 86. I closed it. Now I'm going to open it up again. And then I'm just clicking the little arrows. And then I want to go to the Brother folder. It's right here. So here's the Brother folder. Okay. And then there's a folder that says Design Database Transfer. So it's right here. And I open that one up. And then the little designs that you saw there were under Library. And then you just click on that, and there's the designs. So you do the same thing for for any other designs that are on your computer to find them. Okay, so like if I want to find my May Your Days Be Merry and Bright designs, okay, this is where I know where they are. They're on my computer. So I need to go to this PC, and I'm already got that open, but those are in my documents. So I'm going to go click the little plus sign next to documents. And then I'm going to go down to May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. Okay, so I'm going to click the little arrow next to May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. And then I'm going to go into, there's a second folder in there that says May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. And then I'm going to go to Redwork Blocks. And then I'm going to click on the bells block. And so there's the bells block, all the different formats. So like this one, you can see I've got DST, EXP, JEF, and PES. Okay, so all those different formats are in that folder. If I go to candle, it does the same thing. Okay, so that now you can see that it's reading the different formats. The one format that I have in here that it is not reading is VP3, just so you know. It does read VIP, but not VP3. So that happens to be what I have in here for the people that have Viking machines. Okay. So the ones that we were looking at earlier were the free designs. So I'm just going to go back to that if I can find it. I'm going to close my documents, and then we'll go back to the little folder that had the library in it. Here it is right here. Okay, so there's those free designs. Okay. So this is how on the left you have to navigate to where items are on your computer that have designs in them. So you have to kind of, this is kind of an old-fashioned way of doing it, but as you learn to do this, just think of it being as folders, file folders inside of other file folders. Okay, so you have to kind of, think it through in your head as you're doing it, and then you know where you put your item. Then this is how you find it. Okay, and then the pictures will show up on the right. Okay, does anybody have any questions so far? Is this making sense to everybody? This program, I've done this quite a few times, so most people have seen this before, but I just wanted to show you in this program instead of in the regular P design program. Okay, so you can also view these designs several different ways. Okay, so you can view these designs. See this little toolbar up here? There's 3 little boxes right here. One of them is for large thumbnails. One of them is for small thumbnails, and one is for details. So right now I'm in the large thumbnails section. If I want to see more designs, and they'll be smaller, I can do small thumbnails. So see, I can see more designs at a time. I don't have to scroll quite so much. And I can also see the details of the design. So in other words, this will tell me, the file name. It'll tell me how many stitches it has, the colors, how big it is. So that's what details is. So sometimes you just need at a glance to see, oh, well, my birthday design has 9,600 stitches. Then you can kind of coordinate your threads and that kind of stuff. Okay. So that's the different ways. So you can access that through the toolbar, large icons, small thumbnails, I should say, and then details. Okay, you can also access those same settings through the display menu, which is, here's the large thumbnails, the small thumbnails, and the details. Okay, so you can use those that way as well. I often just use the little icons that are up here on the no, Teresa, yours, that would be the trial version of PE Design. You want Design Database. There's another link above that trial one. Okay. Now, the one thing that this program does not do that the full version does do is allow you to see a realistic preview. So like when I right click on this in my other software, I can see the properties in this one, but I cannot see a thing that's called realistic preview that kind of makes it look like it's stitched out. So I can't see that. That is something that is not in this free version. Okay, but it is in the full version if some of you have that. Okay. And we looked at the properties before, so I can look at the properties of the designs by right-clicking the design and then going down to this little drop-down menu property. And you can also access it through, I think it's in the, let's see, options. This is the properties here in the toolbar. So it's like the little piece of paper with a little box on it. And I think it's in the, let's see, display. Yeah, display for property. So there's 3 different ways to get these different settings most of the time. Okay. But the other thing that's really cool about this program is you can organize designs. All right. By just, because you got your navigation pane on the left, you can move things around and you can add folders and you can copy and paste designs from one place to another place without having to go outside of this program and then going in and out of different folders on your computer. So it's pretty cool that you can do that. Okay. So let's create a folder first. Let me show you how to create a folder. And I'm just going to go to my documents and I'm just going to click on the word documents. So I'm in my documents right now, but you can see there's only one design that shows up that must be outside of a folder in my documents right now. And in order to make a folder, I clicked on the word documents. That's where I want it. And I'm going to go up to file and I'm going to create a new folder. So under file, create a new folder. And then right here in my documents, it created a folder. And I'm just going to call it, let's see, what should we call it? Let's call it design practice. So I'm just going to go down here. It's down here at the bottom right here. And I'm going to say design practice. Oops, stuff I can't spell. And then hit enter on my keyboard. So now it's up here because it went back to, it's alphabetical order in my documents here. So here's design practice, my folder. Okay. And I want to put some designs in that practice folder. So I'm going to show you how to move things. You can either move designs, you can copy and paste designs. Okay. So let's go back and find that little folder that we had before. We were in, let's see, we were in this PC. We're in my library. Here it is, down here in the program files times 86. And here's the library. So here's those designs that we had before. Those were the ones that came with it for free. Okay. So I navigated on the left back to that folder. Now, this is the trick with this. I normally only copy and paste. If you just grab a design up here in this folder, okay, where I'm at right now, if you grab this and pull it into that folder I made, it will remove it from the original folder. So I normally don't want to remove designs. I like to copy and paste them. But if you want to do that, so what I do, I'm going to leave, I've got my library selected and I'm going to go back up to that other folder in my, got to find it again, in my documents, design practice. So let's say I want to grab this flower and I want it in that design. And I've just got it. I'm grabbing it with my mouse and I'm going to pull it down and I'm going to drop it right down on top of that design practice folder. Now see, it's gone out of this folder, right? So it's gone now. All right. So that's the thing about organization. There's a couple of different things you need to know. If you just grab it and pull it and put it in another folder and it's on the same drive, like on my hard drive, it's just going to move it there and that it's gone from the original folder. If you don't want that to happen, you can copy and paste. So let's say if I right click on my little fish and I copy him, and then I go over here to my design practice folder that I did before and I right click on that, I can paste in there. But see, my fish is still in the original folder where I was. So let's go look at design practice now. So here's design practice. So here's the PES folder or the little fish. And then here is the flower. But that flower is no longer in the other folder. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy my flower. And then I'm going to go back to that other folder where we were. Because see, I got rid of the flower and I'm going to right click on library and I'm going to paste it in there so that I can put it back. Okay, did it go? Maybe I didn't get it. Oops, second here. Paste. Did it go? Let's see. Did it go in there? Let's hit it again. Color. Let's go back to there. Oh, there we go. So there's our little flower. Okay. So that's the one thing that I do most of the time when I'm using this function is I like to copy and paste so that I don't remove things permanently from my original folder unless you want that. Okay. So the other thing is there's a couple of notes that I had written down here. If the two folders are on the same drive, and that's what we're talking about, the selected embroidery design is moved to the other folder. So just like our flower got moved to that other folder, it is then gone from the original folder. To copy the file from one folder to another, there's a couple of keyboard, if you like keyboard shortcuts, to copy the file instead of having to go right-click copy, right-click paste. You can hold down your control key while you drag it, and then on your keyboard, and then it will actually copy it from the original folder to the new folder. Like, let me see. Let's go ahead and do that up here. I got to find my design practice folder. Here it is right here. So let's take this birthday one. So I'm holding my control key down. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to bring it over here to design practice. Where did oh, there it is. I'm going to drop it down there. So now if I click on design practice, look, see, there's the birthday one, but it's still in the original folder. So that's with the control key. So if you go download this little document that I'm doing, then you will have this written out for you. If the two folders are on separate drives, so like if you're working with your hard drive on your computer and an external hard drive or a memory stick, if you drop and drag from one thing to another, from one drive to another drive, it only copies. So it won't like remove the design from the original folder. It'll just copy it from the original folder to the new folder if you're on a separate drive. Okay, so that's some of the stuff. And you can also move things from one drive to another, but then you use the shift key. So these little organizing notes that I have here are on page 7 of my original notes that are up on the group. So you can print those off again if you don't have them. And then you can look at some of those little organizing shortcuts if you like shortcuts from you like your keyboard shortcuts. Okay. All right. So then again, what I did is, when I was in here, I was right clicking and I copy, and I can cut as well, and I can delete a design from this folder. So like if I don't want this one in here anymore, I can just click delete and it deletes it from this folder. Okay, I'm still in my design practice folder. All right, but I like to use copy and paste because I feel like I'm sure that I'm not going to mess something up and move something when I don't want it moved. Okay. All right. And we right clicked. I did the right click method. I'm just kind of going through my notes here so I'm not missing something. And we deleted something. So, you right click and you can delete. Okay. Or you can select it in your folder where you want it, and you can hit the delete key on your keyboard, whichever works better for you. Okay. All right. Sometimes I need to change a name of something. Like a design, instead of having a lot of designs have like numbers or something as a name, and I wanted to actually have a name like fish. Okay, so you can do that in this program. However, you do need to be in the detail mode. So right now we're in icons or the thumbnails, and if I go over and click on details, I can now change the name of this fish. So I want to just call it fish, but do not take out the .pes. Okay, just change the letters. Okay, leave the .pes in there. I'm just going to call this fish. Okay, and then hit enter on your keyboard. Do not remove the PES at the end. Okay, otherwise it'll freak out the design. Okay. All right, the detail mode view to so the detail mode, but do not erase that .pes part. That's the big thing to remember. All right. So like I told you, we can also search in this program. So this program does a lot. I mean, you can access all the designs on your computer by using the navigation pane. You can move things back and forth from one folder to another. It's very convenient because you don't have to go in and out, in and out, in and out when you're just using Windows folders. You can just do everything through here, which I really like. You can search for designs though. So that's another thing I really love about this program is I can go in to, let's say I want to search for, let's search for our fish. Remember, we just changed a design that's named it fish. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's close up some of these folders so it's not quite so distracting. And I'm going to go to my documents because I know it's in my documents somewhere. And I only know that it's called fish, but I can't remember where I put it. So if you choose where you want to search, so you just click on documents, you want to do your whole PC, your whole hard drive, you can do the whole hard drive if you want. But in this case, I know it's in documents. So I'm going to click documents. And then I'm going to go up to file, and then there's a search button. And I know what the name of it is. You can search by lots of different things. You can search by the file name. You can search by the format. If you know how many stitches it has, if you know how many colors it has, there's a lot of different options for searching. And I love the search feature. So I know that it's called fish. So we're just going to type in fish. Okay. And then you just go down to the bottom and click search. And it's going to search for a minute because I'm searching my whole documents folder. And it'll take a minute to do this. So we'll just let it search for a little bit. Okay. So are there any questions so far? Is this making sense? And please go download this document because this will help you if you have not seen this. This will really help you. Okay. So I found a bunch of fish things. So let's go ahead and make it into icons so we can tell. See, there's that fish that we did. Oh, guess what? There's another fish. So there were several fish designs that I had in my documents, and it found all these different fish. So then it's like, oh, good. Here's the one that I wanted right here. Okay. So the search function is really, really cool. And you can really find stuff. If you know a little bit of information about it, you can sure find things. Okay. Sometimes I've even done, like I knew that I had a design that was an HUS, and I didn't know where it was. I have very few HUS or designs on my computer, but I just happened to know this one was HUS. So I searched by the format and I found it. And then I can tell where it is. Okay. So this is really cool. This is something that is very, 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 very useful. And you can use this program for that. So I just thought it was amazing that they put all this stuff in here. The other thing I think is cool. Okay. Let's go back to that original you can go back to that original little folder again, okay? That little design database transfer folder, the library, okay? And if you want to keep your designs organized, or you just want to see, like if you have a file folder full of stuff and you just want to see something and see some pictures of them, this is a really good way. This will let you actually print out a catalog. So, I'm going to go back to that little library again, and I'm going to go up to File. And I'm going to go to print setup because there's some options for printing out a catalog. And oops, second here. Here's the little print setup thing. I'm going to turn my page so I remember what I did. All right. So if you look over here, it'll let you do how many designs per page you want. So like you can do 1, 4, I think this is 12. And then the last one is like has extra information like thread colors and all that on it. So you can print these out in several different ways. I'm going to choose the 12. Okay. And then I can look over here and I can have a color list with the color changes, or I can have the total colors. I can have the colors come up by the name of the color. I can have them come up with the code, which would be the number. So depending on how you like to see your colors, either way is fine. I don't have a printer hooked up, so I'm just going to click click on print preview so I can see what it looks like. So here's my pages. So like here it showed the colors of my design, and it's going to show me, let's make it a little bit bigger so you can see. And it tells me like the size of my design and the colors over here. And then this is all the designs that were in that folder. So this is a very handy tool. If you needed to know what's in that particular folder, just print them out and you can just take a look at them, and it'll show you all that information on there. Okay, so that's you can print a catalog. This is showing me my 2 pages at a time. You can do just 1 page at a time, and then I can go to the next page if I want to. So like that's how you do that. There's a little toggle up here between 1 and 2 pages. Okay, so you can depend on how you want to do it on your computer. All right. Let's see. Oh, if one or more embroidery designs, this is some of the little notes I had, are selected in the right pane, only the selected designs are going to print. So you notice that, let me close this. I had nothing chosen over here. Okay. So if you have nothing chosen, it'll print the whole folder. Let's say I have my fish chosen and I go to print preview. Let me see, print setup. Let's go look at that. And we can preview this. Now see, it's just showing the one fish because I have it selected. So if you want the whole folder, remember, don't click on anything. You can also, if you got your like settings done for your catalogs the way you always like them. Could this take them? Yes, it can. You need to have them though, Colleen, they would have to be in PES format, because when they download, when those PEP designs download, they are in C2S, and this program will not read C2S. So they have to be in PES. That would be the only difference. Yes, so you could do it, but they have to be in PES, Colleen. Okay, so let's see. If you know that you've got everything set up the way you like it, like in your print setup, you can just go to file print, file print, instead of going through the preview and all that stuff. Okay. All right. So there's some more of the stuff. Okay. So let's look at, and then this is something you may not use, but I use this actually quite often. I make what they call an HTML document, but it also makes a JPEG image of each design, like in this folder. And when I did my May Your Days Be Merry and Bright, I needed JPEGs for each one of those like blocks. So this is how I did it. I actually did it right in this free version. I mean, it was so fast. So I'm just going to show you quick how to do that. I know it doesn't sound like something you would ever use, but I occasionally need a picture, or I need to send a picture to a customer or to somebody, like I want to show it, send it to Judy so she can look at it. Okay. Or like look at the colors. Okay. So you don't have to print the catalog out. You can just send it send it, and then it'll also be a JPEG image. Okay. So we're in this little library folder where we were. Let me turn my page here. And then I'm going to go to my file menu again. This is where all that stuff is. And I'm going to do create image file and HTML. Okay. And I'm just going to call this, let's just call the file name test. Okay. And the page title test for now. Okay. And it will let you output it in different ways. And I'm just going to do the biggest ones. That looks good to me. And let's see. I think that's all I want. Let's hit save. And I want to save it on my desktop. Whoops. I don't think I did it though. Just a minute. Let's try it again. My computer mouse is rather touchy. So let's try it again. Let's do test. And test. And then we're going to go, I want to hit it. I want to put it on my desktop. There we go. And then let's hit save. Try it again. Okay. Then when I go find that, so if I minimize this, here's my little folder over here. Okay. That says test on it. See how easy that was? So this is how I did all my designs. And oh, you know what I did? I actually had one selected. So let's try it again. A second. I had that selected. You can't have any of the designs selected. Otherwise, it'll just do the one you have selected, just like the search or just like the print preview. Let's try that again. So image file, we'll just call it test again. And then we'll go down and it'll go back on my desktop. There we go. Okay. So let's see if it does it now. It should give me all of them. Okay. So here's all of my pictures of all of these are all JPEG pictures of all of that catalog. So like when I did my May Your Days Be Merry and Bright, I just made a picture of all of the designs so that I could put them on the quilt for the instructions for the picture instructions that I was doing that I was writing for you. So that's how I did that. So these are all little JPEG images. Isn't that cool? And then this document here, this one that says untitled, that's an HTML. This is actually like website language, and these are the designs, and it shows you the number and like the name of it and the width and the height and how many colors it has. So if you had a website and needed to put this up there, you could just produce that and then put it up on your website, because then it's an HTML language. But I use the other part of it quite a bit. Whoops, second here. I use the one that makes the pictures, because it does it together. It makes the HTML and the pictures, and I use the pictures all the time. So I find that very fast, and I can do the entire folder at the same time, as long as you don't have one selected. That was my problem the first time. Okay, and then you can do the same thing with. Let's close this down, and let's go back to this. We're going to go back to that same folder. And then this is something that I don't use. The photo, Jan, that it was just the photos. So the JPEGs are just the photos. Okay. So all I use normally is just this folder that's right here that has these pictures in it. That is just the picture. It is not, there's no information. It's just a picture. Okay. So I use that all the time. The other HTML document that it produces, I very rarely use these. I just throw those away. But that's the one that has all the information on it. But I use the JPEGs because you can also put those on websites, okay? So that's the other option. So like this file, I normally don't even use it. That HTML file. Okay, so the SVG, so you can also export this as like a document that you could put in a spreadsheet. So let's say that you wanted to have all of the particulars about these designs in a spreadsheet. Okay, so I can also do that with a CSV file, and that's also how you can like move your address, your email addresses from one email account to another email account, and all this with CSV files, because they're like comma separated value files. Okay. So I don't have anything selected, and I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Create CSV File. And I'll just call this one Test, and we'll just put it on my desktop again. And I'm going to click Save. So what it's going to do, it's going to put everything in my folder, and it's going to be a document that I can open up in a spreadsheet. So if I do that, the second here, I think it went down into this test folder. Yeah, so here's the little document right here. Mine, I don't have, like, if you have Microsoft Word or Excel, it'll open up in that program, but mine's going to open up in, I have Open Office, which is the free version, so it'll open up in there. I can show you what it looks like here, hopefully. Let's see if it'll open up. Oh, it did. Just a second. Let me close this one and open this. Okay, so here's my spreadsheet, and here's all those particulars about those designs that are in that little folder and where it is. Okay, so there are times when I think I would need that, and it's something that they've had in the software for a very long time. So if you're making catalogs and you need to know particulars of things, that's one way to do it. And you can create it without having to write it all out and type it manually. Okay. So that's another little thing it does. I thought that was kind of cool. All right, let me turn my page again. So now we're getting to the good stuff here. So the last thing we're going to talk about, we talked about it, what, we can categorize, we can find things, we can move things, all that. But then, of course, we can also send our designs to our machine wirelessly. Okay, so that's the last thing that we're going to talk about. So if you have one of the non-wireless machines, okay, like a Dream Machine, Destiny, one of the older machines that you need to use a USB stick in, which is fine. If you have the full version of PE Design, it will have Design Database in it, and you can use that program instead of the one I'm using. Okay, but if you have one of these newer machines, like a Luminaire, a Solaris, one of the Stellaires, the Altair, any of those, the Meridian, and then the new little 6x10 machine, which is awesome, or one of the newer 10 needles or 6 needle, then we can use this to send our designs wirelessly. So what I want to do is I'm going to go down here. I've been using this opened up so I can see the designs better. So let's go down here to where the little arrows are at the bottom, and I'm going to open this up and bring up my my transfer part of the software. So now the top part is where I'm viewing my designs, and the bottom part is where I'm going to send them so that I can write them to my machine. Okay. And this is the same as the old design database. But this one does not give me the option to use a USB stick. Okay. So I can only use wireless on this one. So what I'm going to do, let's say I can send one design at a time. I can click on this one and send it down with the little arrow. That means I can write that now to my machine. But if I want to do a whole bunch of them, or if I want to Control A, I can send them all at the same time. So we can do all the designs. Now the machine, they said the machine will hold about 50 designs in that little wireless pocket. Okay. So there's not 50 designs in this. So let's just send them all. What the heck? We'll just send them all so you can see what it does. Okay. Now remember, we set that all up, that my Luminaire is here. Okay. I've got them down in the writing screen down here. Okay. Now I'm just going to go over here to the left. I've got it chosen, my Luminaire. That's what I've got with me. And there's still space available. And then I can hit this little button that says transfer. So let's see what happens. I'm just going to hit the transfer button. And it's going to have a little thing come up and it says now transferring. So I transferred quite a few designs over. And it's going to think for a second here. And then it says finished. Okay. So we're finished. Now I need to show you then where they go. So if you give me a second, I got to do a couple things here to get back sharing thing. So let me go back to this. Whoops. Camera. So I'm going to stop the sharing. And I need to go back to a camera. Let's get back to, let's see, where am I here? Oh, stop sharing. I got to hit the right button. There we go. I can stop the sharing for a minute, and then let me go to my other camera so you can see where the designs went. So I'm going to go to my camera that's in front of my machine here. Okay, so here, hopefully you can still hear me okay. But here is my machine. Okay, now that little pocket, the wireless pocket is still under the pocket thing here. So I'm going to hit my pocket. And I'm going to go hit the one that looks like a wireless. And look, they're all there. Look at all the designs. Okay. So all of those were the ones that were in that little folder. So here's the fish right here. Here's a little fish. And then I would just bring these up just like I would any other design. So I'd hit my fish and I'd hit set and I'd hit embroidery. And they stay in there until you take them out. Okay, so like if you can only have like I think they said 50 in there at once. So if you keep sending designs, you might get to the point that you need to take some out in order to put more in. And then if I go back and I hit the return button and add, see, I could go back and bring in another one from there. Okay. But see how quick that is? And, you know, I've been using this so much since I got it because I don't have to go find my little security device anymore because I've been able to do this with my PE design database and PE design 11, but I find it very time consuming because I have to get up, run to my bag, dig out the dongle, plug the dongle in, and then open it up. Well, with this you do not need a dongle. You do not need the security device, and I can just open it up and use it. So isn't that cool? Okay, so let me show you. So that's where they are. They're all in that little pocket. If I hit add, and here's this little pocket, and they're under the wireless thing. That's where they are. And all the machines have that same type of icon that has the wireless. How do you remove the files from the machine? So that's a good question. So let's do that. So let's say that I don't want any of these designs in here anymore. Or if I just want to delete one at a time. So see the little button down here at the bottom? Looks like a pencil with like a little bunch of boxes. So if I open this up, I can select all. Okay, then I can hit delete if I don't want any of them. I can just select none. And let's say I just want to delete one. I just hit that and I hit delete. So it just deleted the fish. Okay. Now in this case, these are probably not designs I need to leave in here. So I'm just going to hit select all and I'm going to hit delete. Okay. And it just takes them all out. So once you get designs in here, you can touch something down here to either select just the one you want and then hit delete, or you can save it in the machine memory also. Okay. So that's how you get rid of them on the machine. It is so user-friendly. I mean, I think this is a great little program, and I hope that everybody will use it. If you are, excuse me, if you are using the full PE design, then you can actually, you use the same writing feature that we just used. Let me share my screen again with you, just a second. Okay. Takes me a second to do this. Sorry. Got to switch back. Okay. If you go back to this, if you're using the full version, here it will give you the option of using a USB, and you could write them to your USB this way. And this is a way you can write a whole bunch of designs at once, and you can see pictures of them for what you're doing. So if you do have full PE design database, then you can use the USB stick for the machines that are not wireless. But there's quite a few of them that are wireless now. So then I was so glad they made this free, so you didn't have to pay for it, because I don't use PE design because I have to go find the dongle. So, okay. So are there questions? Oh, let's talk about the writing list down here. Let's say, I got a couple of these that I don't want down here, and I can click. This is the writing list, the list that's going to go to the machine. And if I want to get rid of stuff, I can just hit the little trash can and get rid of it. Or if I want to go like this and go Control A, I think I can select them all. Oh, they won't let me select them all at once. So you can just take out the ones you don't want. You just have to select them. It'll let you Control A at the top and not at the bottom. I'd forgotten. I haven't used this for a while. That section. So if there's some of these you don't want, you just click on the one you don't want and you hit trash, and then it goes away. So then it won't write to the machine. Okay. So let's say that we just want to get the last one. I'm just going to delete a few of these. I'm just deleting them, hitting the little trash can. But this was always so cool when this way we could do a lot more writing, like let's say I want my butterfly to go to the machine. So I'm going to get rid of everything but my butterfly. And then I can hit the little machine and it writes the butterfly to the machine. Okay. And now I can switch back to the machine. You do that so you can see it. Hopefully. Okay. And then here is the butterfly underneath the little wireless thing. So there's my butterfly that I just transferred over there. I really like this program. So what a neat way to do this. And then it's very useful. You know, you can just go ahead and you can get your stuff organized. You can find things, you can search for things, but you can send it to your machine. It is. I mean, and like Jan, you have a Luminaire, so just download your brother one and set it up, and then you can be sending stuff too. The little manual that comes with, let me switch cameras here. Give me a second. I'll switch to my other camera so I can show you the manual again. But this is a little manual that you get, and it's just a few. So it kind of touches on all the stuff that we talked about, but if you download those notes that I had, I go into a little more detail. There's a couple things you cannot do in this free one, but I really like the little manual is actually pretty good, and it touches through all the stuff that we talked about in this little manual. And it's only about 5 or 6 pages, but then it just talks to you about how to set it up and how to get your machine set up on it and everything. I mean, I've really enjoyed it. And I actually use it now, because now I just go to my computer. Like, I often have my little hard drive, this little hard drive hooked up to my computer. That's where all my designs are. I go in there and I start sending things to the machine, and I don't have to get the USB stick out anymore. So I actually really like it. And I like the fact that I don't have to use the security device. So that, that dongle is kind of a nuisance to have to go find it. So, because I don't use it every day. Okay. So, does anybody have questions? So make sure you download the manual and the program from your prospective machine, whatever, your baby lock or your brother. And also download, if you want, off of the Sessions on Software, you can download my design database notes that I just kind of went through, and I have it written out for you. You can download those too. And for those of you who have PE design database and you have to use your USBs, it works exactly the same way. It just gives you the choice of the USB when you have it plugged into your computer. So those of you with Dream Machines and Destinies and Quattros and, all that. So if you have PE design, use that instead. It's the same, it works the same way. Okay. Okay, so next week, for those of you I know some of you are signed up for the Kimberbell Sewing with My Nomies is next weekend on Friday and Saturday. If you still want to take it, there's still room. So make sure you sign up on the website. We will not have Sew Along with Jan or Sessions on Software next week or on the following week, which is Halloween. Okay, so we're going to have 2 weeks off, guys. I don't know. Can we handle it? I don't know. So I'm going to be busy all next weekend with all the classes, because we have a class Wednesday night. We have Embroidery Club Thursday night. We have class all day Friday and all day Saturday. I need a little break next weekend. Okay. And then, so we will not have class until November. Oh my gosh, November. Can you believe it? And then we will be starting May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. We'll be starting the quilt. I think that's the day, isn't it? I'm going to look at my calendar to make sure I get it right. So here's October. Yes. So October 7th, or November 7th, sorry, will be the first week of May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. So if you want to join us for the quilt, we'll be doing that the first 3 weeks in November. And then the 4th week of November, we're going to make that cute little design. Just a second, let me grab it. I got it over here. We're going to make that the last week. We're going to make this for our little frame. So this will be the last week in November. So much fun. We'll make this. And this is actually done in the machine. So, and then I will give everybody the design as well for those of you who do not have the machines with the, design center. But a lot of you have that. But I will give you the PES file for this as well. And we'll do this. So we're going to create it in the machine and design center. Okay. So we'll do that the last week in November. So yeah, so we're going to have a couple weeks off. So if you have any questions, make sure you message me through Facebook. You can contact me at the store. Thanks, I got it downloaded and helped to categorize. Yes, it does really help categorize the designs. That's what it's really for. You know, the writing part is cool, but it's an organizational program, and it's free. You know, if you don't have PE design, which I know a lot of you don't, it's a free way to catalog your designs and look at pictures of them. So I mean, you know, what a deal, you know. It actually does quite a bit. So all right, so next week then we will not have class for 2 weeks, and we'll meet back for on So Long with Jan. We'll be starting the quilt. I'm really excited to start the quilt. So if you haven't bought the quilt pattern, if you're looking to do May Your Days Be Merry and Bright with us, make sure you order it on my website. It's so-jan.square.site. And that's where the design is. So Dad is doing fine. He's in the other room watching baseball. And we'll be seeing you in November. So some of you are already signed up for sewing with my Nomies. So I'll see you, on Friday and Saturday for 2 days. We'll be doing sewing with my Nomies. And this week there's a lot of other stuff. So, but if you need anything, give me a ring at the store, email me, message me through Facebook, and we will see you in a couple of weeks for the quilt. So thanks everybody. Have a good evening. Good night.